Welcome, guys, to Talking Through the Media's your home for entertainment news and reviews by fans for fans. Remember to smash that like and subscribe button. Send in your questions and comments because we want to hear them. I am Amy Newman, and joining me today is the wondrous Mr. Chris Fagan. Chris, how are you?
All right, prepare yourself, guys. This is Chris with Talking Through the Medias. Hey, I want to welcome you to episode 137. First, before we get started, I want you guys to remember, stay active in the community. I want you to send us topics. If you want to talk to us about anything that's out there that's trending, you can email us at mail@t3medias.com. Don't forget you can call us on catch us on the podcast, not call us on the podcast, on iTunes and SoundCloud, and just you can catch the show anytime you want to. So, Amy, if you don't mind, can you tell us what is trending out there today?
All right, our first trending topic of the week. YouTube star Jenna Marbles quit her channel following blackface backlash. Jenna Marbles, who began her career in 2010 and now has more than 20 million subscribers, came under fire for wearing blackface while impersonating Nicki Minaj in 2011, as well as some past racist remarks. So, Chris, what do you think? Was this, an appropriate way to handle the situation? Do you think what she did, does the crime justify what she did? Is this the right way to handle it? What do you think?
Really reactionary, and I understand it. I was only made aware of it after Tyrone Magnus, the Tyrone Magnus YouTuber, reacted to her video that she posted saying that she was going to remove herself from YouTube, and I knew of Jenna Marbles from all these years. She's very popular and whatnot. I didn't know that she had already reached, because I'm not a follower of her anymore, but 20 million subscribers. And to just walk away from all that, it's like, his point was like, why are you going to let trolls or people who are just like reacting to what's going on in the moment let you affect your livelihood? And then he thought about it for a second and went, well, I'm only a channel that has 1 million subscribers, and my inbox gets flooded all the time with people showing love, people trolling, and everything in between. So I could only imagine what she's going through as a female, and with 20 million subscribers, it's probably a nightmare of what. So then he thought about, and I could see it both ways. But me personally, first, I want to throw the question back to you. What, and do you understand? Do you agree with totally removing yourself from the channel after all these years because of what's going on now?
I think one reason I really do, I guess, agree, I wouldn't even feel like is the right word, but I really respect her decision, because I do get the feeling it really came from a personal place. Watching really manufactured, like, I got caught, people are angry, I'm going to step back and let the heat die down. And I feeling it came, and this whole action came from a very genuine place of, I want to do some self-reflection. I want to take some space away. I don't feel comfortable pushing forward on this platform right now, knowing I did some really harmful, really inappropriate stuff. Right. Also, I don't feel like she said, I don't believe the announcement was like, I'll never do a YouTube video again. Okay. And I think the idea of taking some space away, given the current climate, is not a bad idea, and it shows a degree of really taking it seriously. If I'm going to go do some soul searching, I'm going to figure out if I still want to have this YouTube channel. She also, has been running this channel for 10 years now. Like, she's one of the first people I remember really like knowing as like, oh, that's a YouTuber. I know who she is. Right. So who knows what's going on in her life as well. But I get the feeling she really made the right decision for her. And again, I do think it was done with a respect towards really honoring those mistakes as mistakes and not just being like, sorry, do y'all forgive me? Are we cool now? But that said, it's not my place to forgive. It's not my place to make the call of what's appropriate there, because right. I'm not, it's not, again, just not my lane to tell her what she can and can't do. But I do have a lot of respect for the way she handled it.
Right. And I agree. It's not saying that there weren't people who probably weren't offended on day one when she uploaded the video. But of course, now that it's being paid attention to a lot more, and finally things are being done, monuments to Confederate statues are being taken down and things like that, and people are finally feeling like this is our now we're going to be heard. And is it an overreach? Is it not? I guess that's up to every individual to decide. Should Robert Downey Jr., not to throw people under the bus, should Robert Downey Jr. Apologize for, like he said in the movie, playing being a dude disguised as a dude playing another dude? Like, no, the point of that movie was an actor a method actor who thought it was appropriate to do blackface, and because he needed to be so method, that was making fun of the ridiculousness of that. It wasn't really Robert Downey Jr. doing blackface. It was Robert Downey Jr. playing a crazy method actor doing blackface. But
no, I give a lot of credit actually, because I've seen a lot of people go, or like, not a lot of people. That's the other thing too. And again, it's not something I feel like it's my place to speak to. Mm-hmm. But, I have heard people discussing, like, sometimes people bring shit up as like, oh, and we're offended about that. And it's like, that's not the issue. And you're making people jaded with the actual issues but I was actually impressed with how many people, because I saw a couple people trying to go, oh, why aren't we canceling Robert Downey Jr.? And I saw a lot of people just going, did you watch the movie? Yeah. Like, take things in the context they're put into it. Like, yes, if you just saw a still of it, it looks bad. If you watch Tropic Thunder, you can see that that's not what they were going for. Exactly.
It's like, why don't we just invent a time machine and go back in time and stop all? I mean, there's an appropriate way of handling it, and then there's people who are just trying to overreach. I agree with you that Jenna is probably handling it the right way, based on what Tyrone Magnus put it into perspective. You could only imagine what a young female, an attractive young female, because you probably have people trolling, and then you have people who are just being misogynistic, and just am I saying that word right? Being just male jerks about it, and just attacking her just for being a woman. Being a woman that's funny. I mean, people attack women for just the ridiculous things. Because she's attractive, she's funny, legit funny, and people want to attack her for those things. Now, whether somebody feels like it was appropriate,
it is hard. Right? I just want
to. And then when the majority of people were probably laughing at the joke when she first made it. True. And then when the times change and the culture changes, and people are probably now taking this more seriously, which they should have been taking more seriously a long time ago, then it's like, okay, then I feel like her response of I'm taking that video down was appropriate enough. And because she wasn't getting the same level of backlash when the video was running and making all that money and all that stuff back then. But she's getting it. She's going to get it now, because people like to go back in time and say, remember when you did this and you did that? Oh, okay. I feel like the appropriate response should be, if it's sincere, should be, you know what? You're right. I didn't realize how insensitive that was then. I thought it was funny. It's not funny. I'll take it down. But no, I'm going to cancel you or I want to destroy your career for something that we didn't have an uproar about. Not saying that there weren't people who weren't mad. There probably were, but at the level that it is right now I want to use this momentum to destroy you or something like that. I don't agree with that in a lot of cases. There's some cases where it is valid. Jenna Marbles, I don't think so, because it's not like she was constantly doing, and so she picked everyone that she was getting dinged for and was like, I will take those down, and then on top of that, I will remove myself from the situation for a while. I didn't get that far into the video. If she said that she might come back, that's good. I feel like she shouldn't let.
I don't know if she said like I might come back, but I feel like the phrasing was intentionally left kind of ambiguous to give her that space if she decides she wants it.
Right. Not and like again, not saying that there's a pass for if like I said, if it offended, it definitely probably offended people. Hell, if Nicki Minaj herself saw it and didn't get offended, that's one thing. But that would be for Nicki. That Nicki Minaj doesn't speak for every black person in the world. So there were probably people who were offended, and I feel like using this momentum now to make her aware of it was appropriate enough. But when she reacted to it and said, "Oh, you know what? You're right. That's valid. I agree. I'll take it down." And then after she took it down, to then keep attacking her, when you can tell she was being sincere and you can tell she was very hurt by it, I just feel like people are just they just like to kick people when they're down. I don't know. I got you now. Now, I don't see Jenna. Maybe if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I didn't get a vibe. Again, I don't follow her that much. So I don't get a Karen vibe out of her. I don't know if she has a history of slapping people in the face and kicking puppies. I don't know, but I didn't get that from her. So I hope she comes back. So that's just my thoughts about it. But guys, let us. I mean, I'm sorry. Did you want to say anything else on it? Was that?
No. Again, I feel like there is a degree to which it's not my lane. So I applaud the way she handled it. But beyond that, it's not my place to start saying this is or isn't the appropriate response.
Right.
But good on her for handling it, very maturely and owning up to her past mistakes. I think more people could just learn from that.
Well, guys, let us know what you guys think about the whole Jenna Marbles thing, about her taking some time off of YouTube. Are you looking forward to her coming back? I wonder how long she will be gone. But just let us know what you guys think. Put it in the box below, and we might talk about it on We Got Your Mail. So, Amy, what else is out there trending?
All right. According to the Wrap.com, the Simpsons will no longer have white actors voice non-white characters. The pledge follows the announcement by Family Guy star Mike Henry earlier on Friday that he would step away from black character Cleveland Brown. So a lot of moves forward in entertainment, just sort of in light of all the recent social and political shifts happening. Yeah. So what do you think, Chris? Is this appropriate? Is this necessary? How do you feel about it?
It's funny, like it's like we were purposely making this the theme of today's episode. It's just happened to be what was trending.
It's a big piece of it.
Exactly. So I'm split on this, and people are going to be a little upset, I guess, at me on this because I agree with it to a certain degree. I almost feel about this the way I feel about how people go back in time on tweets and stuff from things that people have said that producers or whatever have already known about, and then now decide to attack them for. Like we always knew that the guy who was playing Apu wasn't Indian. We've always known.
This pretty clearly came out a couple years ago and basically said we're not changing that. We're not addressing the problem.
Yeah, they did, and then I think that actor, if I'm not mistaken, years before all of this stuff started happening. Currently, they decided to they did that to themselves. They got ahead of that, but they were only doing it for the Apu thing, not thinking that they also needed to do it for all the other characters. Now, the reason why I said I might have an unpopular opinion about this is it twofold? I don't know if I'm using that correctly, but here's my thoughts on that situation. Now, it's appropriate because I understand that in the industry there's a lot of opportunities that are not given to, for example, like transgender roles not given to transgender people, and in other situations like this where a character who is a black character not being voiced by a black person, like that, throughout the years, stuff like that has kind of been happening for a long time. But what about those situations? And there are some. I didn't set up any examples. I would have to Google it a little bit later. But what about the examples of black actors who are voicing white characters? Now, people are going to have two different opinions on it. It's like, well, what if you're segregating all these other white people from playing black characters? Then it's only fair that black people should stop voicing white characters. But then you will probably have black people saying no, because there's so few opportunities for black people in the first place. They should keep those roles, and that's going to cause. Maybe I just probably started up a big, huge argument right now, but I feel like that's going to be the argument moving forward. Maybe the numbers are not as big as I'm thinking that they are, but I know that there are some black actors who have, for example, the lady from A Different World with the curly hair. She voices a lot of characters in the Rugrats cartoon. What was her? She was, I forgot. She wasn't Whitley. She was the hippie black girl on that old TV show A Different World. Me and Joy were just looking her up recently. She's a very, very popular voice actor, and I know she voices a lot of characters, and they're not all black. So, but it's so stupid for me to say. People are going to be like, well, she's biracial, so she can play any character she wants. So it's going to be like, pick your poison, right? But it's a situation where I feel like that's been the voice for so long. And the guy who's played Cleveland Brown, they made a big deal about him being the only white member of the cast. Since he was already the voice of Cleveland, he stayed the voice of Cleveland. But every actor, and all of the writers and most of the producers were black, besides the Seth MacFarlane, were mostly all black. And they made a thing out of that. If we're trying to have people be, informed and woke and whatnot, I think Mike would be one of the most woke guys in the world. Hey, look, my whole cast was black. We were all, and we're all family and this and that and the other. I never had a problem with it, because I at the end of it, I said that guy's gonna be the coolest, most woke guy in the industry, and everybody seems to love each other. But because of, I guess, how it looks now, it made sense. Black characters should be voiced by black people. But I'm worried about that. What about the white characters that were voiced by black people? I mean, what's going to happen? Darth Vader is white. Are we going to? I think I just blew my own mind for a second. I
was like, I can't think of any prominent. Well, damn.
James Earl Jones. Do we now? I mean, as Mufasa, it made sense. It was Africa. But Anakin Skywalker is white.
White guy. Yeah.
What are we doing, Disney? What are we doing? So I feel like I'm going to stop talking, because now I feel like every example that I'm making, I'm probably going to be hurting the industry now. So what are your thoughts on this whole thing?
Again, I think that's an interesting point. I generally, like I said, I can't, beyond like the couple you listed, I just don't think it is as prevalent to have black actors voicing white characters. And again, as a white person, it's not my place to say this is or isn't appropriate. But I would also say, like, there are so many opportunities for white voice actors, just generally speaking, that, like, as a white person, it's like, I'm okay if a couple black actors get another voice opportunity, even though it's not a black character. Right. But I don't. I'm for shifting.
But even I would admit that the argument would be valid. If we're segregating all black actors to voice black characters, wouldn't, on the other side, well, does that mean that all white? Because I feel like some white people are uncomfortable with even. I know other people would be offended by, because it's not as. I don't think that is like. I don't equate that as somebody saying, well, all lives matter. I honestly feel like that's a valid point. Does this mean now that producers are now going to start? It feels like segregation. It's like, okay, since all the black people are taking the black characters, let's fire all the. Because I feel like there will be a bunch of black people that would be upset with them losing their jobs if they were already voicing white characters. But I also simultaneously, I feel like, even though I agree with you, I know what you're saying, But I was still, a sliver of me would say it's a valid point. Like, what does a producer do? Does he then go fire black people who are, hey, no, we got this nice character over here that looks a lot like you on this other show. Like, but no, I've been voicing this white character for years. I feel like he's gonna feel like he or she is probably just gonna feel like he's just been getting fired. So, at the same time, I don't think that's gonna happen. I don't think black people are gonna get fired from voicing white characters. Yeah. But I also feel like there are going to be some white people that are going to be upset by that, and I just don't know what. I'm just waiting for it to happen. I guess I don't know where I'm going with it, but no, I know what you mean. But besides Anakin Skywalker, I'm just trying to think of any other. I can think of a
lot of examples, and I think that's very telling of why that won't be as big an issue, is because it doesn't happen that often. And like I said, when it does, it's like, well, there's not enough black characters in animation, period. Right. You know, like I would just argue, like if another role can go to a black voice actor, a voice actor who's a person of color, I say go for it, because there aren't enough opportunities out there. Animation is, and voice acting can be, from what little I know of it, is a really white field. And I'd say anything we could be doing to bring diversity into that, fine in my book, because again, I can't list 10 examples. Like, Hank Azaria has been doing like a dozen characters on The Simpsons who he just should not have been doing. There's no character on The Simpsons that's like, oh, Homer's actually a black guy. Like, no, you don't see that in the same way.
Bart's actually a woman. Yeah. That which happens often. That happens a lot. But yeah, guys, let us know what you guys think. If honestly, and what do you think about my thoughts of, do you think now producers will start thinking about, well, what about black actors that are voicing a few white characters and stuff? Here's what I honestly believe. If you want to have a kumbaya moment and peace on earth and have America really come together and with one voice, tell any Star Wars fan, white or black, that James Earl Jones is no longer the voice of Darth Vader. We will all be locked arms. We don't agree on anything else, but we will agree on this, that you better not remove James. I think that would have peace on earth. Of that. Let me know what you guys think about that and everything that we talked about on this subject, and we'll talk about it on We Got Your Mail. So what? After
I will say, I don't know if we really want to get into like the racial politics of voice actors in the Star Wars world? Because I just rewatched some of the prequels and oof, some of those accents. No. Like
let's not
like,
go.
Oh no, what are you doing?
I understand.
I don't know who did those, like the very stereotypically Jar Asian aliens.
That we're gonna have to save that for another show. There's a whole thing about that. I know exactly what you're talking about. Jar Jar Binks, guys. Yeah, put that in the box as well. We'll tell. I'll tell Amy all about that actor. That guy got a bad rap. I'll tell you about it after the show. But let's move on to the next. What else is trending out there?
Oh no, so scary. Our next topic, hold on to your steering wheel, folks, because feverup.com is reporting an immersive haunted drive-thru in downtown LA. My hometown, I love it. You drive through a spooky route that'll keep its design, high-tech audiovisual elements, and actors that are so convincing you'll forget it's make-believe. Experience the best of what Halloween has to offer safely from your car. This October in downtown LA. I feel like you used this against me because I literally just texted you because we talked about the one in Japan and I was just like, oh God, it's going to be in my town. That's too close. I was
about to say, you found this one, right? So what are you doing?
I sent him a warning.
Quit hitting yourself. So now we were thinking, wow, this is trending in Japan. Maybe it'll come to America. It's already, the call is coming from within the house, Amy, so.
I mean, I respect the attempt though. Like as a Halloween lover, I am concerned that I'm not going to get my Halloween spirit this year. That does bum me out. I don't want to have to not do anything fun and spooky and Halloweeny just because there's a deadly virus that could kill me if I did. So I don't know if I'll be first in line because it sounds scary. I showed my boyfriend who like is pretty cool with haunted houses. He was just like, oh no, that's so much worse. I was like, why? We could not pinpoint. This is my big question. I don't think I'm alone in feeling like this is 10 times scarier than walking through a haunted house, but I can't figure out why. Because it should feel safe. It's like, there's an entire car around me. Like, this like zombie thing is not going to get me. Why is that scarier than it being like in your face? I don't know.
It's something. I guess it's something about them like pressing against the glass. Like I guess that's just kind of weird. Or something. You know what?
I found that I haven't washed my car since the quarantine started.
Me neither.
And there's nothing. I believe the outside of my car is traumatizing enough right now that all the monsters would be like,
And you're like, thanks for the ride. Like, ew. When was the last time you watched this? It's my defense mechanism.
I literally. This is so embarrassing. I shouldn't admit this. I literally had to climb out the other side of my car because there was a giant spider web with a giant spider on my driver's side. And I don't know. I'm doing it for real already, right here in June.
Here's my thoughts was when you showed me this this article, I thought, wow. I was thinking about that America, fuck yeah song because it's like, okay. Japan came out with, we got the haunted garage, guys. Woo, we're scared. We're taking it up a notch. We're adjusting for COVID-19. And in America, they're like, fuck that. We're going to have you drive down the most scariest street alive. And you're literally going to run over things and stuff.
I stand by my assessment of I would not work at one of these because I do not trust someone to not floor it. Like, I'm sure they'll have safety protocol in place, but
could you imagine? No. I'm pretty sure that the actors will probably be told to stay on the side of the car, never get in front of the vehicle. Because you never know how people are going to react. Oh my God, that looks like my
like I said, I know
my
so
dead great grandfather. Oh my God, and just freak out. So I'm hoping that everything works out great, and you got to let me know if you, especially if you go out there and brave it and weather the storm and go out there and check it out, or at least if you can.
I watch like 3 scary movies and just freak myself out way too much. Yeah, that's like my hard limit.
You couldn't even handle the turning doorknob on a trailer on a terrible movie.
I wasn't scared. I was startled.
It's like, I like the way you buffered when that happened when that door. Okay.
I get more scared. I'm one of those people where, like, if I know I'm gonna be scared, I freak out, and then once I'm actually in it, I'm like, this is fine.
Yeah, nothing bad happening here.
I'm just like in line for the thing screaming.
But it could be great. Let's see what happens. The haunted garage versus the haunted driveway, and let's see which is which and which one is scarier and. If they're going to adopt this, I feel like if LA is going to do it, I feel like all the other states are probably going to take a note, and it's going to probably be the way to go for this Halloween. Yeah. So it might be pretty big, guys. Let us know what you guys think about the haunted driveway, which is launching out there in downtown LA. I want to know if all you guys. I mean, it doesn't even have to be downtown in your city. I mean, in your neighborhood. Like, could you? Collab with your neighbors and try to get something going and for Halloween, freak people out, throw Hershey's at the car and you'll get a bag. We got to innovate, guys. We got to innovate this. Let us know what you guys think. Maybe we can talk about it on We Got Your Mail. Now, what is the next trending topic of the day?
Why do we need scary things? This year's already a nightmare. All right, our last topic. Women's Health magazine would have you believe that a throuple version of a couple may become your best relationship ever. What, you may ask, is a throuple? Well, I was waiting for you to ask. Well, it is a balanced, consensual, and committed relationship between 3 partners. So not just a threesome, it's not cheating, it's a form of polyamory. It was touched on in the 2nd season of The Politician, so it's had a lot of people asking more about this form of polyamory. Chris? What are your thoughts on the Throuple? I believe you've seen season 2 of The Politician.
Well, let's see if after learning for I never heard the term throuple before.
It was also on and the article touched on, it was also in media on there's a House Hunters where a throuple was looking for a house and everyone was very excited.
2 guys, 1 lady, or 2 ladies and 1
guy? I believe
it
was 2 ladies and a guy, but I don't remember for sure.
I feel like, I don't know why. I mean, I guess maybe it's just the dirty male brain that I have. I feel like guys have been trying to get this going for centuries, and now there's just an official name to it, trying to make it legit. See, it's not weird. This is the thing, but it's not like that. There's a word for that. Those guys, there actually are guys who just want this lifestyle and just for their own selfish reasons. But this is actually like 3 equal partners. Like I'm married to her, and she's married to me, and I'm married to him too. You know, it could be 2 guys, and it's instead of just a couple, it's what it is. It's a throuple, and they're all supposed to be even. Everybody always says that the problem with it is if there's like, I don't know if there's arguments. How do you handle if you feel like the 2 is ganging up on the 1 and stuff like that?
I know people who are in successful polyamorous relationships. If it's your bag, more power to you. I had enough negative experiences just trying to have like friend groups that were 3 people.
Exactly.
And inevitably like 2 of the people would start being closer friends. And I was always the 3rd party that got like edged out. So,
which is something that was touched on A Politician. So it makes me curious, but I'm fascinated now. You said, how did that all work out?
In my friends?
On the friendship level, did you just sit down and talk about it, or did you just let it go?
No, they both called me and told me they didn't want to be my friend anymore.
And
it was a traumatic experience. Thanks for bringing it up, Chris.
And I'm wondering, and they touched on it. See, that was the one thing. It wasn't the main thing that was exciting about this latest season. I guess this could be like my quasi little review of season 2 of The Politician. I didn't enjoy it as much as I enjoyed the first season, but everything that was happening with Bette Midler, which is in this season, and everybody that's involved in the Throuple. What was that? Oh, I forgot her name already. I don't know if you looked up the cast. I should have probably did that. But everything that was involved with that politician, with Bette Midler and whatnot, was the most entertaining part of this season. Where on season 1, all the most interesting things that was happening was with the students and the main star of the show. And that was a really good first season. I feel like season 2 was not as good as season 1, but everything that was going on with that relationship and the problems that they were having was the best part of the season. I've fantasized about the idea. Can I convince Joy to that? But it would obviously be for my own selfish reasons. So she's like, see,
that's not like healthy polyamory. I think
it's not. So
anyway,
I've been told that like no, that's like shut up, Chris. So
yeah.
I wouldn't be a good example of it. And that was my point. Like there are guys out there who are probably going to pretend like they're okay with, but are they really okay with it, or are they just doing it to I would test the guy out. If a guy brings it up, if a guy goes to his wife and says, "Hey, you want to have a threesome or something like that?" The wife should test them out and be like, "Yeah, I've been thinking about my friend Jake for a while. Let's bring it." And if your husband freaks out, wait, what? Then you know that he was just really just thinking about himself.
I think that's such a big part of it. And again, I'm not an expert. It is not personally my thing. Mm-hmm. But I was actually just talking because it came up because we were discussing it like in The Politician and everything. And we were discussing, and we're both just like, it's not my thing. I'm not interested. And we were both discussing just as a concept. It's like, I would never be comfortable if like my boyfriend came to me and was like, I want to bring a third in, and like had to convince me. I feel like that already just shifts the power dynamic in such an odd, like, I feel like if you are polyamorous and you know that about yourself, that should be like right from go.
You
Like,
should both probably already be there before starting that, right?
Meets you there. So it's not, no one should be talked into a polyamorous relationship, right. I guess is what I'm trying to say. That is not healthy polyamory. But I think from a media perspective, it is really interesting now that this is coming into the mainstream more and more of what does that do for storytelling? Right. I think, unfortunately, we're probably going to see a lot of depictions of like, so that's not really what it is. Because I feel like they tend to like anything like that where it is based in like, well, because it's based in like consent and communication and a lot of things that don't necessarily make great TV. but
if I'm not mistaken,
a lot of like dramatic Throuples where it's like, well, that's not a good, healthy relationship.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think there was a TV show called The Big Love, and I think that was based not on polyamory, really. That was based on what was that, Mormon?
Polygamy in the Mormon church, right?
That was based on that way of doing it. And if I'm not mistaken, the politician, these characters are based on something that actually happened in real life to a politician that was out there in California. I think her last name is Hill, where her possible throuple relationship, or maybe it was just, it could have been that, or it could have been just her being just, being a consensual adult with her husband, just doing whatever they do in the privacy of their own home. But when she was exposed for it, she was shamed out of the party and had to resign and things like that. That happened a couple of years ago, right? And I remember thinking, like, who cares? I mean, was she good for was she doing her job? Was she good for the community? I was like, everybody wants to like shame people. It's almost like how I feel about, and I know this is comparing apples to spaceships, but it's kind of how I feel about like breastfeeding. How guys would be like, or anybody would see that happening in public, like, why do you have to be so indecent? That's indecent exposure. She's feeding her child, but that same person saying that that's indecent won't have a problem with going to a beach and a woman wearing the smallest bikini ever, showing the exact same amount of boobage, and they won't have a problem with seeing that. But put a baby in front of it, it's like the only way that should be exposed is if it's to benefit me or something like that.
Not doing what it was made to do.
Yeah, exactly. Not doing what it was made for, but it needs to make me. And it's like, dude, like these are adults, and what they do in the privacy of their own home. If it's not going on in, but if I'm not mistaken, I think it was something more further than that. Maybe she was using. I don't know if she was using campaign funds or she was doing whatever she was doing on company time or something like. I gotta go back and check.
Involved in her campaign in a way that created a weird.
Maybe it was her campaign manager was maybe the other woman or something like that. But whatever it was a huge scandal. But it's funny that you brought up that. You just jogged my memory. I do remember. I did speak to somebody who was also not in the same in a throuple. But she was in an open, I guess an open marriage, but almost a forced open marriage. Like, for example, this was when I was still dating before I met Joy. And I met a woman who said that she was currently married. And she got to a point in her life where her husband wasn't enough for her anymore and wanted to be in an open relationship. Like, her husband was totally against it. But she honestly went to him and said, "Look, this is just where I am now, and I don't want to leave you, but if you can't, I know what I'm going to do and I know what I want. So I'm not gonna lie to you and go behind your back. I'm telling you where I am now. If you can't handle it, then we need to get a divorce." Yikes. And he said he hated it, but he didn't want to lose her, and he allowed it, and then she found boyfriends and stuff on us. And when it got to me, I was like, no, I don't want anything to do with that. I never even met that person. No. And because you never know, the husband could have been like, I'm okay with it today, but when I'm gonna snap tomorrow out of jealousy or something, because the way she described it was, and from what I understand, that's not a poly. That's an open marriage, right?
And that's not even a healthy, because
that's
again,
not even a healthy open marriage.
Our argument, like, I know people who pursue open relationships where, and like, if you do it correctly, it's like you have to be so good at relationships, and people are, where it's an amazing amount of like mutual respect and communication and respect for each other's like needs and desires and wants and trust. And, you know, it's insane. Like I can barely manage that with one person. Like we work hard to, you know, so I have a lot of respect. One thing I thought was funny in the article, just like, if you are not good at relationships and you attempt this, you will find out how bad you are.
You're gonna learn where your relationship is, trying to introduce something like that into the mix. Oh man, I could only imagine. I wonder if that guy ever just told his wife, like, look, we can't do this anymore, or if she ever stopped, or what. I don't know, because I think you brought that up earlier. It's like you were talking about the power dynamic. I think it's just.
Well, it feels like a weird emotional blackmail of like, I'm going to other guys, and if you're not okay with that, then I'm going to leave you. And none of that's good. Yeah. None of that.
Like, if you don't allow me to do this, then I'm gonna. Even
if you're telling the person, like, if it's not a mutually consensual thing that has been like approved and discussed, that's still cheating.
Right.
You're just blackmailing the person into sticking around.
Emotional blackmail. Yeah. You gotta allow me to have my cake and eat it too, I guess. And I don't know. I guess I don't know. It's just it's. So I respect the whole the throuple part of it more, because like, at least in that situation, especially if they're both like-minded individual, I believe in this polyamory lifestyle, and another person's like, oh, hey, me too, and then another person's like, hey, me too, hey, you know, it probably can work, and it's probably working for a lot of people, but I wonder how many people evolve to that, and their spouse is like, what are we talking about? And if they have to be talked into it, that's probably where a lot of problems are coming in to it. So I don't know. Let us know what you guys think about that. Are you in one of these relationships? Have any experience at all in the Throuples, open relationships? Let's talk about. Let's just. I'm not an expert on this, but I'll answer a question as best I can, or at least I'll for you guys out there that are in the lifestyle. If you want to educate me on some things and what's going on, put it in the box below. Let us know. Let's know what's going on. The details, I guess you don't have to go too far into the details, but we'll talk about it on We Got Your Mail. So I think that was the last of it. Right. Right. Hey guys, I want to thank you guys for watching this latest episode of Talking Through the Media. Let me try to go full screen here, and because it's gonna bother me that I still got the wrong lower third in there. Guys, like to say, that's the show. We're gonna do the talking through the We're gonna do the We Got Your Mail portion of it later on. I'm not gonna do the one question in this time, because we wasted a lot of time with me trying to figure out these new graphics and all that stuff. So we're gonna just go right into the We Got Your Mail thing. So check out We Got Your Mail coming up on Saturday, and your Twitter right there. So you no longer have to tell the people about. So there you go, right there. What do you think about that? Where can they find you now? They can find me right there.
I am Amy Newman. You can find me on Instagram at amy.n.newman or at Twitter at amy_n_Newman. So, call me, beat me if you want to reach me.
Yeah, right. See? So
if you want to page me, don't have a pager.
Anything you want to ask me, fax me. That's what I say. That's an old Mace line, from Harlem World, by the way. That's old school. I'm an 80s baby, so yeah. It's a little before your time there. But But thank you guys for watching the show. We'll catch you all next time. And I can say, hey guys, this episode of Talking Through the Medias was voiced by a black guy that was. I wasn't gonna go there. I shouldn't go there.
So unbelievably funny. Like one of those people you just. Obviously, he's hilarious, but I feel like he's been in so much good stuff, and like growing up on Seinfeld, you kind of take for granted just how funny he is, and to sort of be the standout funny on, one of the funniest sitcoms of all time.